this foot in, turn the other way. Turn the left foot and revolve the right hip towards the front. Go on, revolve here, open the chest. Now with an exhalation, keeping the ribs lifted up, bend your knee. Very carefully, see? Correct? You should feel the way in which I chest. How you feel the weight on the leg. You have gone too much forward. Take this leg, you should move back. No. Forward. Now drop this muscle. Well done. Now, with an exhalation, let loose here and then turn the waist more and more. Turn. From here you have to lift up your hands. Descending this, you have to ascend. Descending the bent leg, flush, you have to ascend the trunk. Normal breathing. Normal breathing. Now inhale, come up. Now come to the front. Extend your arms. Exhale, feet together. Good. Well done. What I did on your chest, I'm going to show on my chest. After bending it, when you lifted the hand, I said this should go down, this should be lifted up. Now without disturbing, see how I puff my chest without the breath. Now I'm going to say, I exhale, I puff my chest so that I know how to lift the body. So that is going down, from here I'm lifting, from here I'm dropping down, and that is the correct action. Now see the chest. Then I turn such a way that it is completely parallel. And then I come up. And when we normally do it, when we bend our leg, we just drop the chest. Can you see how much we collapse? So you have to go on ascending. So in that ascension, you have to go on bending your leg. That's the correct action. Okay? You know, yoga, no doubt, covers the various shapes of man. Children are very active. They love to have variations and newness, freshness in approaches. So they have tremendous vanity, they have tremendous strength, they are not afraid of injuries, and as we all know, children recover faster than adults, grown-ups. So naturally, when we have to teach children, we have to see that the child do not get bored by the art. So we have to keep them alert, active, so they need speed, they need strength, they need speed, and they need variety. So postures have to be changed in such a way so that they feel moment to moment the freshness in what they are doing, which makes the children get interested in this art. So we have to treat them in the beginning only on the physical level, because they cannot go beyond the body. Then they learn the physical movements. Then when they are grown, say age of 16, 17, then we can speak to them about the mind. Then when they are growing a little more, then we can speak to them about the self. So naturally for children, we have to pay attention to the well-being and the speed, the variety to be introduced. Then they love yoga, because I am teaching children from the age of 6 to the age of 13, where I've got about 80 to 90 students on weekly classes. Believe me or not one student leaves the hall even though we teach them non-stop for 2 hours. That shows that we have to ignite interest in them. So art of igniting interest in children builds them to become something, to develop their personalities when they grow. So that is how we have to teach children, giving them varieties and speed. They are full of vanities. Remember that also. Children are full of vanity. As such, the exercise should be of vigor and vitality, not soft flow movements which does not attract them at all. So that's all the change which we have to do. Now, It's not just the pose, what you do is important, how you adjust the pose. Now when I am doing the Virabhadrasana too, when you have to observe the length of my chest, follow? And you have to observe the length of my bent top leg and the bent bottom leg. The top leg should always run parallel to the bottom leg. So most important is to observe here. We should never move this forward skin. So this skin moves backward, this skin moves forward with the flex. That is known as cognitive action guiding the cognitive action. So when we do like that, it's a cognitive action, there is no cognition. So you have to work the skin so that the skin is made for the flesh to move in line to the skin. So this is known as this, and this is running parallel to each other. Then the attention is here. The same gravitational pressure is here. In the gravitational pressure only, and the opening is here. Can you see? Now if there is a close up, it is gone. So you have to wide open here. As you wide open this side, bent leg side is easy to wide open. But on the straight leg side, it's very difficult to wide open. This is the pubis. So you have to observe the length of the pubis, and you have to, this is a round pose. Can you see the pubis? Mm-hmm. So you have to measure from here, and that is not mental action. Then you have to come up. Now, in order to make you to understand, as you see the inner side leg, it's very difficult to understand in this, the outer side leg. Here, in this pose, when we do the outer side leg, bloats out. So this bloating of the leg when you bend has to be known to control. That's why I'm turning myself in order to show you. Now I'm jumping. I stretch. Now I do the way in which people do. They just turn, they just go like this. Can you see the thickness of this? Mm-hmm. So this is known as bloating sensation. So this flesh is bloated. So now, how to know? Now see, this is just concave, I take. Follow now? Now this is convex. So I keep in the beginning again the whole flesh slightly concave, suck into my body, then I go on bending so that, can you see the thinness here? Yes. So I make that flesh thinner and thinner, and then I adjust. Now, if you observe this buttock, this is how we do it normally. Now, how to separate from here? Now, see this, there should be a tremendous space created here. Can you see now? Can you see the difference? Yes. Now, if you observe this also, there is a tremendous intelligence required on this area. Whereas normally, when we do the pose, we don't think of that, like, can you see how the knee drops off? Mm-hmm. Now there is a tremendous action in this leg than on the bent leg. So when I'm doing that pose, as I said, as this buttock is moving forward, this area of the flesh is lifted upwards in order to bend that leg. See? It is direct like Tadasana, like a poker stiff leg, not drop leg. Can you see it is drop? Mm-hmm. Now how I have to make that poker stiff? Can you see? Mm-hmm. If you observe the knee bone and this knee bone, this is known as alert knee bone, this is dull knee bone. So this person is standing more on this leg than on that leg. Now stretch these fibers back, say what happened. That is correct weight on both the legs. That's known as alignment. Now here I come. She is my oldest pupil here, 1961 or something. Now, yes. Now, still if you observe carefully, there is tremendous attention required from here to here. She's straight here, but her intelligence is cut off from here to here, whereas her intelligence flows. This is known as zigzag flow of intelligence in the body, which we call the tranquil flow of intelligence is not there. It is cut like the river. If the heavy flow is there, it gets inundated, the land. So similarly, this is, you can observe here. So what we do, in order to give her, I take the inner quadricep muscle with my knee, I grip and then I push back. Mm-hmm. So that intelligence is made to come in contact with the flesh and the skin. Same way here. Can you understand now? Yes. So, and she has to press this down, and pressing she has to push this flesh and skin to feel the heat. That's the way. Now here if you observe, very interesting again. If you observe carefully, if you this top leg and bottom leg, her bottom leg is thicker, so why should it be thick? She is very good, except that these ligaments she has to turn towards the kneecap. Then the outer leg opens. She is very good on the inner leg, she is not very good on the outer legs. So in order to extend, that means the inner leg is longer, the outer leg is shorter. So in order to make the outer leg longer, you have to turn the fibers towards the inner quadricep muscles. Then the length will come automatically. Here, if you observe, this is too thick, whereas it should not be. If you measure this, her top leg and the bottom leg is too thick. That means the bone is not at all activized. It's very interesting to say that you cannot stretch the bone. Now, by pressing this bone of the heel, now see what happened to her bones. So it gave room for the flesh to become alert. So now push. That's the correct way of standing. Now the folding of the skin disappeared. Now the skin is also as active as the flesh. That is known as Tadasana. Now Virabhadrasana. Take a deep inhalation, jump about 5 feet apart. Take the right foot out, left foot in. Now when you are turning, you have to be very careful on this. We are very good to stretch. This half the arm stretching. What about the other half arm? So as we lengthen here, we should know also that we are equally attending on the top of the, because the energy is flowing inside the skin. So the energy is the river within the body. So the river should touch this band as well as this band evenly without any fluctuations. Stretch that way. Now take the right foot out. Now with an exhalation, bend without, say I'm touching this finger so that there should be no movement at all. They are maintaining this in this length, you have to bend your knee without bringing the head back. And now harden this leg. Again I told you to feel here. Be strong here and take this head of the shin back with the neck. And that shin, neck of the shin should be taken back slightly for you with taking the buttock bone down. Then only the leg will become thin. You feel now? Yes. Contraction. Well done. Now, if your line is drawn, all of you look here. This is the edge of the buttock, this is the edge of the knee. This and this point should run parallel to each other. That's the adjustment. Open as you stretch your arm, stretch your muscles of the pubis. Horizontally, arm tall. Inhale, come up. Take the foot in. Exhale, feet together. Not necessarily to the other side. As you know, understood. This is all connected. If you observe the calf muscle, it is turning from the middle of the calf towards the outer edge, whereas this is coming inwards. So this is known as one fighting against the other. So this is, if you call this a non-violent muscle, this is a violent muscle. Because it is fighting against it because it cannot stretch. So it is quiet, the cells are dead. So though for appearance it is non-violent, inside it is violent because it is murdering these cells. Because it cannot feed them cells. So if you observe carefully, what I do is, I said this is the inner leg skin. So this dent which she has to take off that dent. Come on. See, there is a dent here. So the foot has to touch that dent and fill it. So as she fills in, can you see now? So now there is a tremendous life fold and there is no difference between this flesh and this flesh. Still it has to go back unless you stand this area down. As you extend this point downwards, you have to open this and stretch upwards straight. Now you can see the change in color, change in circulation. Now if you observe, this leg is well stretched, this is not well stretched. So if you observe the defect, see there is a dent in the calf muscle, there is no dent here. So her calf muscle, this is shorter, this is longer. This is known as habitual diseases. So what I do is, from the outer shin muscle, I said push that shin muscle back, this will open. And then stand erect. Now say the dent have taken it off. And this became longer. Understood now?
Yes, it's right. Thank you.
Now having explained the Tadasana, now we can all easily do it again. Open your back thigh muscles from inside out and make the back thigh muscles as flat as possible from this end to that end, you get Tadasana. Now take a deep inhalation, jump 5 feet apart. Take the left foot out, right foot in. Now, there is a grip on the head of the femur on the right leg, is it not? And it is in Tadasana. The head of the femur is exactly facing the ceiling, like head balance. Without shaking that head of the femur, bend your left knee and watching the right hand. The right arm should be just in line to the lower arm, the back arm. If it moves forward, you lose. So you have to measure. Then harden your wrist of the right and extend your left arm and drop the sleeping down. See, there is tension. There should be no tension. Only the hind leg should be extended. You have completely forgotten here. Lock here and lift this slightly up. You should be near the skin bone. The bone should be touching the skin. Lift up the bone only. Good. Slightly knee out, please. Your knee. Just like this. Tailbone forward, this way. And then shoulder. Good. This position. The outer leg should be in line to the knee. Now inhale, come up. And take the foot in. When you are doing the standing poses, you get completely blacked out, fatigue, tremor in the legs, vomiting sensations. If you are like that, in between the standing poses, you just sit like this. You can use a blanket or you can use a bolster. Join the feet together and sit on your knees. Just like this, with a relaxed body. The fatigue of the leg disappears, the tension of the diaphragm is taken off, the load on the brain due to the standing poses, tension on the neck is taken off, and the leg muscles are relaxed. And suppose there is a vomiting sensation, here, this is for removing the fatigue. If you feel vomiting sensation, just stand up, incline your elbows, and just let go down. And remain like this. The vomiting sensation disappears. The blood pressure also shoots up. Then that feeling of giddiness, dizziness disappears. Just quietly stay without any tension in the brain. Then you can continue the other standing poses. You know, it is a common belief that we think that as we have grown, we may not be able to do it. Nobody realizes that the I, the me, the pronoun I, the pronoun me, the pronoun you, the pronoun thy, has no age. The self has no age. So it is the mind which introduces fear when the person has grown. So it is the mind which has to be cultivated, cultured, to face life. As such, there is only for good things or right things people ask about age. Is there an age limit for sex? All are interested, even though they are grown-ups, they are old, but the temptations are there. Similarly, why they should be afraid of doing yoga even if they are grown? So definitely there is absolutely no age limit. As we take food every day, exercises or movements are essential to each individual every day. So food, if you don't eat food at all, then I say don't do anything. But when we have to take food, it has to be digested. In order to digest, we have to do something. As I said before, the gates of the human system is only respiratory system and circulatory system. These two gates are opened in the practices of yoga more than any other system of exercises. And that's why if these two systems are kept healthy, a man is ever healthy. So as such, when once there is a good health, age do not count at all. So irrespective of age, they can do only, there is a minimum practice because they have not used their joints, they have not used their muscles, they have to go slow. Beyond that, there is no other limit. When we are doing the standing poses, in between, you have to find the relaxing poses. So this Prasarita Padattanasana is a relaxing pose between the simple standing poses and the one which you are going to do afterwards. In between, this pose gives a resting abode for the muscles so that the complicated poses are done with ease and comfort. Normal breathing. Now take a deep inhalation. All of you do Tadasana without losing that understanding that from the beginning till the end, you should know that the outer ankles which it drops should be sucked in, lifted up, so that the outer ankle bone is nearer the inner ankle. Now place your fingers on your waist, measure the sacroiliac muscles so that the sacroiliac muscles are moving towards the leg when the legs are lifted. There should be a grip, and open your side chest. Then with a deep inhalation, sometimes you can do with inhalation. If the people are thin, they do with inhalation jump. If the people are on the higher side, heavier side, then they have to be taught with an exhalation jump. Then there is no strain for them to take the legs apart. So one can do both ways to learn. Though we say often inhale jump, even in exhalation one can jump. Heavy people definitely cannot spread their legs with an inhalation, so they have to be taught with exhalation. Now exhale, jump forward. Spread your legs more and more. And when you jump, the sole goes out. So again, you have to take the sole in this pose so that the heel and the sole run parallel. Now keeping your thumb pressurizing on your back, lift the tailbone up without disturbing the body. And slightly concave tailbone. Then take a deep inhalation. Then along with exhalation, take the hands down and try to keep the palm almost in line to the feet. And then to look up, you have to tuck in the tailbone. After tucking the tailbone, you have to stretch the tailbone towards your head. There are two actions. One tucking in, the second moving forward without disturbing the buttocks. If you don't get the movement, if you feel that the tailbone is moving back, move the buttock bones towards your hand, slightly sway forward as I did it. Then with an exhalation, bend your elbows, take the head down. After taking the head down, turn the outer kneecap inwards and then push the head in a little more. Normal breathing. Don't hold the breath. Then slow inhalation, come up. Holding your foot firmly. Then look up. When you look up, you have to dig the spine down and towards the chest. Look up. Pressing the elbows. Then hands on your back. Exhale, feet together. Normal breathing. In order to make you understand the pose, I am doing once again so that you can see how I adjust, how I move, how I tuck in the tailbone and then extend forward. So all these things can be known. So I do from the sides for you to catch the pose. Now, after placing the palm, when we place the palm, we make our back convex. Now observe carefully how with the help of my finger, I dip in and then I come forward. Where the hips also gets contracted and extended at the same time. Then staying here for a few minutes. Here also when you say, you have to observe. Now this is also a pose, but this is not a final pose. Now from the diaphragm, I still open more and more. Then with an exhalation, I go down. When I'm going down, this is the gripper. If this grip is lost, you can't get the pose. Now see how I grip there. That means I hold the floor so it can't slip. I let loose so it goes out. Can you see?
Yes.
So again, this is the real brain. So you should know from each asana you have to trace the source of brain. So in this pose, this becomes the source of brain. Can you see now? Then I work. Then slowly I come up. And so beginners cannot jump. So in this position I say take your foot a little near so that they get security. Then I say lift up, hand comes back, bang, jump, drop the hands. That's how you have to also teach that after doing the pose they should be taken inside the legs, then they will not tear their muscles. So I will show you how important in this asana in placing the feet. Now when we are doing the pose, most of us, we press the outer big toe corner to the ground to get the pose. So what happens on account of that? The interior leg drops and so there is a strain here. So this big toe has to be turned from outside in so that the foot is doing tadasana. Can you see the ankles? So the movement, this is the hooker. So I hook my foot and the ankle. That is known as the anchoring point. You follow? So I have anchored here the whole body so that there is absolutely no difference. Now you can see there is no drop in my arch. So that protects me to do the pose. And if you observe here also, now how I create space between my trunk and the top inner leg. Did you see? How I move away from the trunk. Whereas we just stay like this. And we keep the head on the floor. After keeping the head, with the help of the head, with the help of the inner ankles, you have to stretch the inner legs away from the trunk. This way. Then you have to take the foot in to get the confidence to stand up. Okay. Now I have shown you, I have made you to do. Now, if you have got any problem in this pose, I would like to correct it so that you can also know, others can, participants also can observe and they can learn. Any problem?
I find it difficult to get the upward movement
Can you
of the
come
table.
here? Can you come here and do the pose? Now, she says that she can't get this movement. Follow now? This one, is it not you are speaking?
Yes.
Now, this has to be dipped in. So in order to dip in, you have to stretch the triceps. Unless and until the triceps are higher than the biceps, it will never go in. Not keeping the hand and stretching. So back of the arm, from the elbow to the shoulders, stretch out. Now has it gone in or not?
Yes.
And suppose you want to take more. Now what I do, this is the portion, this is the sacroiliac muscle. So this stretch the sacroiliac muscle and also dip down to touch the pelvis and the pelvic rim. Now she got the curvature. Can you see now? And if you want more curvature, this is the head of the collarbone. So from through the collarbone, extend backwards and still it goes down. So the energy is flowing this way, and here the energy is coming that way and meeting here and going like a circle. So it will be rolling from the head towards the tail and from the tail towards the head that way. Now, you understood now?
Yes, thank you.
Good. Any others have a problem? So that I can guide you?
We sorted mine out.
Pardon?
We sorted mine out in food.
Yes?
Because my long leg.
Any others?
I'm not sure about the balancing point.
Say face this. Because others have to see. Now suppose they cannot take the head down. Which one you are finding difficult to?
Wondering where the balance is, of how far back it is to
Balance in yourself or in teaching or in doing?
in doing.
In doing. Now, this is the gripper. So when you move, the groins has to be taken forward. Now, you got the pose. What we do, we don't move this at all. There is a mobility, a stability and mobility go here together. This is completely stable. Only there is stability and mobility. So in the stability, you have to move forward. Then the head goes in. Did you understand now? You got it or not?